What is going on, guys? Noah Jai from the Geek Week here, and we are back with another review. I've just got done watching what very easily might be my favorite anime of the year, seriously. It's a wonderful blend of two storylines merging together, supported with an incredibly compelling plot, and absolutely exploding, and I do mean exploding, with truly beautiful character writing. In the first storyline, we are introduced to a group of kids that live in a facility, completely isolated from the outside world. One of them, a girl named Tokyo, receives a message that asks, "Do you want to go to the outside world?" Another, a girl named Mimihime, has a vision that she shares with Tokyo, telling her that two people from the outside world will come to save her, one of which will have the same face as her. In the next storyline, which happens to take place in the aforementioned outside world, we are introduced to a boy named Maru, who happens to look just like Tokyo. He is traveling through devastated Japan 15 years after a calamity. He is with a girl named Kiruko in search of heaven. Strap up as we dive in to Season 1 of Heavenly Delusion. Now, I figured I'd start with the second storyline, seeing as we spend most of our time with Maru and Kiruko, but it'll all make sense at the end, I promise. Kiruko, a young adult about 18-20, is running a handyman office in Nakano, Tokyo, when she gets a job offer to be a bodyguard for a young boy about 15 in search of heaven. She accepts his request, and our story begins. Early on, we learn that the Japan they live in is not ordinary, and is plagued by man-eaters, hellish monsters with telekinetic-like powers that, well, eat people. Maru has dubbed these monsters Hiruko, but to avoid confusion with his traveling companion, we'll just stick to man-eaters. Luckily, we also learn that Maru is no ordinary boy, with superhuman-like strength and reflexes and the ability to somehow kill the man-eaters. He is a very resilient and complex character, and most of the storyline we experience through him. But that's really all I have to say about Maru at the moment. As for the woman he hired as his bodyguard, I'm really not even sure where to begin. Kiruko, she is a beautiful, quick-witted survivor that just so happens to be an expert with a gun. It's really no wonder we see Maru fall for her so quickly early on. She really seems too good to be true. That's when we find out she is. And she is not a she. She is a he. Kuriko is actually Haruki, the younger brother of the girl whose body he's in. I know. Just hang on. I said it would make sense, didn't I? We find out that prior to the events of the show, a boy named Haruki lived in an orphanage with his older sister Kuriko, a street racer. While at one of his sister's street races, he spots a man-eater in camouflage that none of the other races can. In an attempt to save his sister and the other racers, Haruki tries to take down the man-eater, but is seemingly killed. Then, at the last minute, while being devoured, his sister Kuriko spots him and rescues what's left of his upper torso. From there, we cut to a hospital room, where we find Haruki has been the recipient of a life-saving procedure, one that transplanted his brain into his sister's body. But why? His sister wasn't dead, she saved him. I've got so many questions. And so does Haruki, as he sets out to find the only two people that may have known what happened: Robin, a role model figure to him in his youth, and the doctor that performed the very surgery. Armed with only a photo of the two, she sets out as Kuriko to find answers. The love and genuine friendship between Kuriko and Maru is something to behold, and honestly needs to be seen to be believed. The later betrayal Kuriko would face, and the comfort only Maru could provide, it's truly character writing at its finest. The second storyline, we come to find, actually precedes the first, but there's a reason I decided to do this second. Remember that school that the kids lived in? Well, it's more like a farm. And what might they be farming for, you might ask? And I'd say, they're farming for heaven. Takahara Academy is promoted as a school where students can be free, but it's seemingly the opposite in reality. The facility is walled and completely isolated from the outside world. The students all seem to have superhuman powers and reflexes just like Maru in the previous storyline. The director of the school, Shino Kaminaka, tells her students that the facility is heaven and hell is the outside world. In truth, the director is anticipating the apocalypse that is to come and intending to emerge from the devastation alongside her hybrid students. She calls this new world the Age of Heaven. And you guys remember Tokyo? Well, she gets pregnant and has a child right before the apocalypse. a boy. Remember Mimahime's prophecy of someone who looks just like you coming to rescue you? Well, that somebody would be none other than her son, a spitting image of his mother, 15 years later with his friend Kiruko, in search of heaven. Guys, I cannot begin to recommend this show enough, from the twists and turns of the plot to the absolutely stunning animation to the godlike character writing. This is one of the easiest 9 out of 10s I've ever given. I mean, if we had a complete story to work with here, we're talking like an instant 9.5 before I even get into like really, deciphering it from other things I've seen. Like, that's how good it was. But yeah, officially, season 1 of Heavenly Delusion gets a 9 out of 10. At the current moment, I'm not actually sure if there's a season 2, which would be a real shame because this is easily like my favorite anime of the year so far. So I guess all I'm saying is get out there and go watch Heavenly Delusion. If you've seen it, get in the comments. Let me know what you thought. I'd love to talk to you about it. As always, guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.